All right, students, we're going to do volumes of prisms and cylinders this time. So we talked about surface area of prisms and cylinders. Now we're doing volumes. Remember, with prisms and cylinders, two bases. The only difference, prism has a polygonal base, cylinder has circular bases, but they have two. Versus our last section, we did pyramids and cones. They have one base. All right, volume. Volume means I'm multiplying three things, three variables together. Okay, or three lengths together. Okay, does not include the constants. So the general formula for volume of a prism or cylinder is area of the base times the height. Now you might say, oh, I only see two variables there. But remember, area of the base. Area of the base. What does that mean? Area. Area means I'm multiplying two variables together. So there's 2 within the area of the base times the h for the third one. Okay, so that's a total of 3. So that's why it's going to be cubic units, whatever the units are cubed for volume. Okay, so if it's a triangular base, if it's a triangle, it'll be 1/2 base times the height of the triangle times the height, and this height would be of the prism. Okay, so you can sometimes have two h's, but one's the height of the base, if there's a triangle, for example, or some other shape that had h in it, and this h on the outside is the height of the actual prism or cylinder itself. So don't confuse and think, oh, these are the same h's. They are not. All right, so those are helpful hints. So volume of any rectangular prism, remember that means the rectangle is the base, and it's just a stack of rectangles. So you find the area of the base, okay, which is base times the height. Also, some people will say length times width. There's the area of the base times the height of the prism itself. Okay, so some you've seen as length times width times height. It can also be written as base times height, but these are different h's, as I just pointed out. Okay, so 10.5 times 8 would be the length times the width, or the base times the height of the base. That'd be my capital B. Times the height of the prism itself, 12. So 10.5 times 8 times 12. Put all that in a calculator. Notice it didn't say round to nearest tenth. That means what's the exact answer. Okay. So here 8 times 12 is 96. 96 times 10 is 960. Plus half of 96 is 48. So that would give me 1008. Is what that should multiply to. Cubic centimeters. Remember, it's cubed because I multiplied 3 variables together. Length times width times height. Volume is always cubed. So anytime this whole page, you better have cubed whenever asked about the volume. That's all you're having to do for these first 6. 7 and 8, they just tell you in words the same thing. So I've seen it in a drawing. Calculate it. Numbers 9 and 10, you're now rounding to nearest tenth. Okay? And they're telling you what the base is. So you don't have to guess. They're telling you it's the triangle. The triangle is the one that's being stacked. Triangular prism. Remember, prism means both the bases are the exact same shape. They're both the triangles. Okay, so where's the triangle? Right there. There's my triangle. The other 3 sides are rectangles. Okay, there's one base and there's my other base. It's that stack of those triangles for a total height of 7 millimeters. That's the height of the prism. But I need to find the area of the base here for, oh, sorry, 7 is pointed down here. 18 is the height of the prism. Okay, this 7 goes down there. I wasn't paying attention to the arrow. Okay, so we have to do 1/2, and remember, area of a triangle, 1/2 base times the height. That's for this right here. So I have 1/2, 35 times the height, 7. Get that answer and multiply it by the height of the prism itself, 18. Put all that in a calculator, round to nearest tenth. Okay. So all these are the triangles that are being stacked for 9, 10, 11. They told you it's a triangular prism. 12 and 13, they're going ahead and telling you, again, these are right triangles. As it says there, right triangle, triangle with hypotenuse. You know if it's got a hypotenuse or a right triangle automatically. Okay, so it's the same as 9, 10, 11, but they just give you those dimensions in words. 14 through 18 are right cylinders. Okay, so again, volume is area of the base times the height of the cylinder, area of the base. Remember, the base is a circle, area of a circle, pi r squared times the height. There we see our three variables, two r's and an h for the three variables we multiply together to show that it's volume. Okay, so now you just need to find the r, should be easy to find, and the height of the cylinder and plug them in. All right, backside now. Volume of each composite figure. Okay, composite means that it's not like a straight and normal figure. You might have two figures together, or you might have to subtract off a figure. Okay, so like in 19, I could find the volume of that cylinder, and then I notice this is 90-degree angle, so I'm taking off a fourth of it. So after I find the volume of that, I could multiply it by 3/4. Okay, and it'd be 3/4 of that volume because 90 degrees still left. Remember, there's 360 degrees in a circle. That's 3/4. Here, I would find the volume of that rectangular prism, this one right here, and I have to add on the volume of this other rectangular prism that's added on top. Okay, find the volume and add those together. Here, I'd find the volume of the rectangular prism right here, and then subtract off the volume of that cylinder. Okay, so I'm subtracting two volumes, and that one right there. Okay, let's see, down here, find the value of x. So when it gives you this, you write down the formula for volume. Again, I have to recognize what's being stacked. The shape for the base, that's an isosceles triangle right there. That's being stacked. Okay, and so they're looking for the height of it. Okay, so here I have, remember, volume equals area of the base times the height. So volume, 576. I'm just leaving off the units right now. Area of the base, remember, area of a triangle is 1/2 base times the height. So half of 64 is 32. Oops, 32 times the height. Obviously, we're solving for this height, this x here. I'm just calling it height because that's where the x represent is the height. You can call it x, I don't care. And divide by 32 on both sides. Okay, and then h would equal what that is. So 32 goes on 57 one time. It gives me 25, 256, which would be 8 times 18. And then the units, centimeters. 18 centimeters would be the height. So 22, 23, 24, you write down the formula, fill in the numbers that you have, and solve for the missing one. Okay. Here, what's the difference in volume? Difference means subtraction. So find the two volumes and subtract. What's the minimum volume of water such a pool would hold in cubic yards? The nearest whole number. So calculating the volume of a pool, it must have told you somewhere what the shape is. Width and length and depth. So it's rectangular pool there. What's the volume of the solid figure formed by the net? Okay. So this was a net. So these are the two bases. Okay, right here. This would then be So the ones that look the same length are the same length. So obviously these are all 10s. Okay. 4s for those right there, and then 8s. So these are going to be 4 right there as well. Fold that together. Okay, get your rectangular prism, and then find the volume of it. All right, that goes ahead and does that.